Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and I'm going to talk really fast today because there is a ridiculous amount of things. We have 4, maybe 5 videos to watch. Actually, yeah, 4, maybe 5 videos, depending on if we watch the skin one. Let's just jump into this. There's so much. It's ridiculous. So, first off, you're going to get the rewards in the bottom right. Event reward, 10 leaves, 1 million gold. And 50 Covenant bookmarks. There's usually a password for this. There is no password this time. Just go in your box, hit that button, get all those. All done. Next, let's just jump straight into Ramiro, right? So we have Ramiro coming. And let's watch the video. We've got 4 videos to watch together. This is going to be a zoom. We're speed running this just because there is so much stuff. So I don't even fully remember all the skills. Okay, so Ramiro is a Earth Warrior, and let's just let's go back in here because I actually have all the skills. What's the best way to do this? Yeah, I actually have all the skills, so let's go in here so I'm not like fast forwarding through everything. So the stats for Ramiro here, we've got my head in the way, but we've got 1119 attack, 6200 health, 109 speed, 627 defense. Pretty average stats with imprint concentration there for attack percent. So he doesn't even have the whale imprint, and well, they don't even have, sorry, the whale imprint. And then we have some abilities, and I'm going to be reading these, and there was so much stuff, it was really hard to capture it all. So I'm learning these again as I talk to you, so let's talk about this. So first off, analyze and assess. So after attacking with a non-basic skill, so basically after using skill 3, copies 2 buffs when the target is buffed, regardless of whether the attack hits, and grants this effect to all allies. This effect is not applied to undispellable buffs, and when an ally is attacked by a buffed enemy, activates Be Ready against the attacker, can only be activated once every 3 turns, and Be Ready increases the CR of the caster by 30%. So pretty sweet ability here, punishing buffs and giving them CR and everything like that. And then we have the skill 3. So this is the one you're going to be using to proc the other one, right? Like this is going to steal the buffs. So attacks the enemy with Black Flame, and a successful attack will inflict 5,000 additional fixed damage to the target. Fixed damage increases proportionate to the number of buffs granted to all allies, up to a maximum of 10,000 fixed damage. When the target is buffed, also decreases the defense of all enemies for 2 turns, unaffected by elemental disadvantage. So, you know, they didn't slap everything on here. It can be countered, so they've got that. And it's also on a 2-turn cooldown or something like that when you soul burn it, and the soul burn is 10 souls, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So this is a character that's going to play similar to Landy as a role, right? Going to deal damage to people with buffs, going to not steal the buffs, copy the buffs, going to decrease defense. That's insane that it also does that, right? Really cool. Really cool. So copies 2 buffs. So I imagine copies doesn't, like, there's no resist there, so I think that's something that just happens. I might be wrong, but let's keep looking here. We've got, okay, shall I get started? This is really cool too. It is a random buff for 1 turn, and that could be immunity, critical hit resistance, increased attack, and increased ER. So all great buffs. Really good. We then have anti-magic mask. The art is super adorable, and at the start of the turn has a 50% chance to grant a random buff to the caster for 2 turns: immunity, attack, defense, crit damage, and speed. So again, all really good buffs. There's no life heal over time or anything like that on this, so it's still pretty good. And it's a warrior artifact, so somebody is definitely going to find a really good use for this. This is a fantastic artifact, and this is coming tomorrow. So right after maintenance, I am out of bookmarks already, so I don't know what I am going to do. And speaking of not knowing what I'm going to do, we have Milam next. So let's go watch a little bit of Milam here and be excited, because I'm excited. I love the voice. Amazing VA job there. Okay, so let's go back in here and take a look at Milam. Sorry, I've really got to... There's a lot today, okay? We're going to be watching 2 more videos. So Milam has 110 speed. She is a mage, by the way, a fire mage. 1359 attack, Rip Araminta, never getting anything. It's just so many other fire mages. Decent defense, low HP, really high crit chance, and no whale imprint, but still 23% crit chance already. And you can tell she's going to be like a damage dealer of sorts from these stats. And we've got Dragon Eye Milam. So at the start of the battle and the end of the turn, has a 70% chance to grant 100% with Mulagora, Dragon Eye to the caster for 1 turn. When the caster is granted, dispels stealth from all enemies, ignores ER. When focus is full after attacking, consumes all focus to activate Dragon Buster. So Dragon Buster increases her hit chance and evasion by 20%. Oh no, that's what Dragon Eye does. So she just has a permanent 20% evasion. That's pretty nuts, right? But Dragon Buster attacks all enemies with overwhelming mana, removing 10 souls. So really cool. And you're like, this is a pretty interesting kit, especially for a mage. How is she going to take advantage of that? Evasion and everything. Well, she's going to take advantage of it because with her skill 3, she has Extinction on it, single target attack, increases her evasion as well. And when the enemy is not an elite or boss monster, ignores damage sharing effects. And you're like, wow, that's pretty good. But, you know, doesn't she kind of need attack buff or some way to sustain herself? Well, yeah, she kind of does. So with Dragon Dive, her skill 1, she now increases the attack of herself for 1 turn and also recovers health as well. Bonkers skill set. I cannot wait to play with this. It is super fun. And something really, really cool here is she has a soul burn for an extra turn. So she can punch somebody in the face, give herself attack buff, and then extinction them right here and give herself evasion. So she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, honestly. And her artifact also, you know, what's one thing in this game everybody loves, right? Counterattacks. We love counterattacks. It's only like the most frustrating thing in the entire world, right? So what better way to make the game less oppressive than give mages 30% chance to counterattack when they're hit by a non-critical hit. So this is 2 things, right? Like, obviously, you're not really going to be proccing this versus somebody with 100% crit. But if they are an earth elemental, because she was fire, right? Yeah, she's fire. So if they are an earth elemental, you've got that 50% chance. You've got all the evasion chance. Like, she's going to be countering every single time. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And she heals herself and gives herself attack buff. Insane. Insane. And she's the week after, so on the 4th. So get your bookmarks ready. And then Shuna. So y'all were right. I said Benimaru is more likely because there's so many other collabs with this game, with Tensura rather, not the game. And they all have Benimaru. But you guys are like, you know what? Epic 7 really likes boobs. So yeah, we got Shuna instead of Benimaru. So let's take a look at Shuna as well here. Holy, this is a day and a half. So let's do Shuna. This one's my favorite, actually. I love her outfit. And spoiler alert, for anybody who has played Summoner's War, she has flowers just like Chisun. And she does very similar things to Chisun. Okay, so that's her. Let's go in here. And her stats, really low stat sheet, is a Fire Soul Weaver, ER imprint here, and ER base. So with the ER imprint and the base, she'll have, what, like 45%, 46%, no, 45% resist base, which is pretty nuts. Pretty good defense, pretty low HP, which is a little worrying. She's not very durable for a Soul Weaver, but her skills are really cool. So this is her skill 2, and it is Blooming Lotus. So this dispels 2 buffs from all allies and redistributes health of all allies to be equal before granting barrier for 3 turns, and barrier strength is proportionate to her max HP. So this is very similar to a mechanic from Summoner's War. Not very similar. It's literally copied from Summoner's War, okay? And AoE. And one thing is that this does kind of take advantage of, or not take advantage, it does bypass cannot be healed, I think. Unless it works differently in this game for some reason. If somebody has a heal block on them, Rip Araminta again, they could just ignore that with Blooming Lotus and it'll balance them all up, right? This is a very, 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 very powerful ability, and I can't wait to see it used. We then have a Magicule Explosion, and this is her skill 1, I believe, with a 20-turn soul. Attacks the enemy by manipulating Magicules and recovers health of the caster, and gives herself an extra turn. So this actually doesn't heal. This actually doesn't. Sorry for doing this like this. Sorry, I know it's frustrating. Me moving this around all the time. This actually doesn't heal people. So she's got her heal from her skill 2. But if you remember, her skill 2 balances, right? So by healing herself, she kind of technically maybe heals other people as well. And then we have the skill 1 again. Cool. I missed a skill. Skill 1. Oh no. Okay, we're going back to the video. I missed a skill. There was so much to capture this time. Okay, so let's find her skill 3 here. Blooming Lotus. Sleeping Spell. Okay, here we go. So Sleeping Spell dispels 2 buffs from all enemies with fluttering flower petals before a 50% chance up to a 20, 30, 85% chance to put them to sleep for 2 turns. So a very interesting skill set here, right? She's got buffs, she's got debuffs, she's got barriers, she's kind of got heals. Very interesting set. And her artifact actually does help out with this. And that is Flawless Garments here. I love this art as well. And this increases ER by 20% and also increases effectiveness by 15% at the end of her turn. And remember, she can give herself extra turns if it comes to it, but it is 20 souls, so it's a little too much. And it can stack up to 3 times and resets at the start of the battle. So it looks like she can gain... This is both effects, right? It's not just the effectiveness. No, it's just the effectiveness. Okay, so she'll gain 20% ER and then 45% effectiveness with this artifact. So interesting artifact. And again, this is the free unit. You will be getting Shuna for free and her artifact as well. And moving on, we've got November boss rotation. What a wondrous thing here. Not the best. We've got the Blooming Snag Lich for all your golem gear. We have the Heir of Light Judge Kisei. There's a video out on that if you want. Like, you know, we really could watch the video for the skin, but I'm going to do you a favor and we're just going to show you exactly what the video looks like. Okay? There. That's the... Oh. Wow, I'm sitting here memeing on you guys, and I have this open? That was so funny. I was memeing... Okay. I'm mad at myself now, but this is basically the video. It's just her boobs jiggling. That's literally it. So you can go watch that on your own time. I was so proud of myself for that joke, and I ruined it. Okay, so let's revert zoom here and go into other things. Balance adjustments, we've already talked about this. Spirit Eye Celine, not Lilius. So this one is my favorite design of a character, I think, ever? Outside of Araminta. Nobody could ever top Araminta, but let's go back here because strap yourselves in for this one. Listen to her voice, it's insane.
Wandering souls, grant me power. Now, how shall I address you? I'd like to call you by a special name that only I know.
I love it! She's so insane. So absolutely insane. So again, I will leave all the video links in the description below. You can go watch the rest of it. But just for the sake of not an hour-long video, let's go over her skills. And she is 10 out of 10 design. She's super elegant. Is that the right word? I love everything about her. She's a light thief, which is kind of weird because the description or the JP version of Twitter was very dark focused. So I thought she was going to be dark. But she's got the whale imprint. Pretty much the best imprint in the game, minus speed. This is because it just alleviates all your stat problems, especially makes it so you have an easier time using a penetration set. And she has 27% base crit, so going up to the what, like 44% base crit for any whales out there. That's insane. If you're wondering how a lot of people have like insane Rylets and Violets, and Violet have the crit imprint, insane all the people with crit imprints. This is how. Often better gear too, but sneaking that 17% increase critical hit chance is insane. So 122 speed as well, 1158 attack, pretty solid stats, and her abilities are just bonkers. So she's got Tensurin's passive basically, and also decreases the skill cooldowns by 1 turn when somebody dies, and acquires 5 souls, and effects upon death are only activated once per turn upon a hero's death. So 6 Sense is insane. Again, you can go to 51% of max health here. Absolutely insane, especially when comboed with her skill 3, which is just ridiculous. So her skill 3 opens the gate of the spirits, dispels all debuffs from the caster, and makes the caster possessed for 3 turns. Revives all dead allies before granting them immortality to all allies for 1 turn. And like I said earlier, everybody's favorite thing in the world is counterattack. So let's just shove some more in here. When she's possessed, she counterattacks when she gets crit. So basically every time, right? She is also a light unit, so she doesn't have any like disadvantage to make the miss happen too much. So she's gonna get crit a lot, right? When attacks, she absorbs some of the damage's health, and you also cannot dispel possession. This is a 5-turn cooldown, but remember, every time somebody dies, it lowers the cooldown by 1 turn. So let's say you revive your whole team, your whole team gets immortality, and your team dies because they're probably going before you because they got revived, you're going last. Then they die. 3 turns are off that 5 turns already, so you're down to like 2 turns. And then you've got Mighty Strike to combine it. And this is her skill 1, by the way. So this is an attack when used if it wasn't triggered by a dual attack. So you can trigger this with a counterattack. There's a 35% chance to use Nibble Sword, and a 70% chance if you are possessed, and you're going to be possessed pretty much the whole battle, right? And Nimble Sword dispels 1 debuff from the caster before attacking the enemy, penetrates the target's defense by 35%, and I think a lot of people, especially whales, are going to be using pen set honors, so she'll have 50% defense pen. Insane. Oh, also forgot to mention, she can soul burn, grant an extra turn. So you can use her skill 3, do your thing. If your team dies again, when she goes, you can use your soul burn again, skill 3 right off the bat. Your team's back up with immortality. Surprise. Ha! Ha! Okay, game. She's also partnered up with BBK, who is insane with her, obviously reviving at 1 HP. We then have drop rate up for Charlotte, and we have the coin shop rotation, which I still cannot see. So that is all of the things released, but they did say some things. So I'm going to just read some stuff up here. I'll leave you with a better picture to have in the background while we do this. Sorry. Take 2 on my joke. Take two. Okay, so the couple things. So on 11/11 that's an important date. What's that date for? Epic Pass. We're going to be getting an Epic Pass on 11/11. They're also going to try to increase the rate at which we get Epic Passes. I think it was 2 to 3 months, they said. I think I wasn't listening. I was distracted. I'm sorry. You guys rely on me. That's horrible. And then we have a specialty change every 3 to 4 months now instead of the previous. We have limited summons having too much fatigue, and just overall not just having overall not enough resources. One of the ways they're going to try to combat that is by improving web events and making them give more things and adding additional web events. They also talked about an ML4 pity just in time for me to get wrecked by it and not be able to take advantage of it. But that's coming, hopefully, maybe not confirmed, but they did talk about it. They also said every time an arena unit got a skin, see boobs right there, they will also have a mystic rotation alongside it. So because of that, we're going to get a mystic rotation of Judge Kisei on December 2nd. They also talked about all their socials. YouTube hit 100K subscribers. By the way, subscribe if you're not, both to me and to them. And we're going to be getting something for that. We're not sure what, but something. Also, they kind of hinted that if we can get other platforms to 100K, we'll get stuff there. So you should really follow their Twitter at least. And follow me on Twitter too. I post pictures of food. And then we have 11/6. That's an important date. I wrote down dates. It was just notes. I don't remember what happens on 11/6. Somebody in the comments will say what happens on 11/6. Oh, I got it. RTA season ends on the 6th as well. They're also going to be posting chances for everything, basically. So specifically, anything that isn't explicitly said, they're going to give us a dev notes or whatever with all the chances in them. Examples they used were item shop rates, so chance for mystic summons to show up. They're also going to be doing stuff like the selective summon rates. They also, I don't know if they were memeing us with this, but they said people were always worried about substat rolls being weighted. Well, they're going to show the chances of each substat being rolled too, which I'm going to be assuming is 25, 25, 25, 25. And if it's not, we're all going to riot, of course. But they'll all be out there. So, wow. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. And I will talk to you later. Bye. I was thinking, okay, that was really awkward. I was sitting there trying to think of a joke to do with boobs because there's obviously two big boobs on my face, and I just failed miserably.